entrepreneurs, and visionaries. Welcome to another Monday Night Live training, where your journey to business success accelerates. Join us for insights, strategies, and tools to elevate your business while keeping your budget in mind. It's time to transform your passion into profit. Your host, Corey von Bill Foster, is about to take the stage. Get ready to be inspired and empowered. The future of your business starts now.
All right. Hello. Welcome to another Monday Night Live. I have to remember the camera is I'm in a different location. I always tell my clients, even if you work from home, like I have a curated home office. Sometimes you need to move, and I haven't been feeling good. Last week I wasn't super productive in that space, and so I moved downstairs. Does my family like it? No. But I'm here for the next probably couple of days until I feel better. Because I am literally, y'all can't see it, but I am on my couch with my comfy pillows. But I still brought down my huge monitor, which is funny enough. But yeah, we're gonna get it done because there's no excuses. This is the second quarter of the year. And if you get nothing else from what we talk about, I want you guys to remember no excuses. All right. I think I got everybody, letting them know that we are live and in the building. Yes. So I came across, well, actually, I didn't just happen upon it. One of my amazing accountability partners sent me a link to another entrepreneur's video. And so I took a look at it, y'all. And she messaged me, she said, let me know if this resonates with you. And I'm not going to show the video. If you're really, really interested, shoot me a DM and I'll share it with you. But basically the idea is that a lot of people don't understand what it takes to be successful in a business, right? A lot of people will say, well, I tried this or I tried that, and they really didn't. And they don't understand the fact that when it comes to business, and I don't like using this word because of the connotation a lot of people have in their minds, but when it comes to business, a lot of people are going to fail at a lot of parts of it, right? You're going to fail with the launch. You're going to fail with the email sequence. You're going to fail with the post. You're going to fail with a vending event, whatever the case may be. You're going to fail here or there, or let's say this, you're going to come up short, right, from whatever your expectation might have been. And part of that could be you just don't, know what really is possible. Sometimes we're a little overly confident. And we don't realize that, things aren't going to pan out the way we think. And then sometimes we just don't know. Like even big businesses have flops. And the cool thing about what I saw in the video, and I'm telling you, y'all, I'm about to throw out an email about this because this little piece hit my soul, and I wish I had it written down because I might mess it up. But basically, she said a lot of people will give, like, basically a no good man more chances than they do their business. I was like, oh, I remember I dated some duds, right? If any of you are out there and you guys dated potential before, I was that girl. And when I tell you, I can picture a lot of business owners that were starting out that I remember who came to me and were like, well, I tried, I just don't know. Some who even gave up. Because I follow people. If I have a call with you, I'll follow you and I'll see when you kind of disappear. And I'm telling you, I wonder, did they give that no good dude, right? Or no good woman, whoever you talking to, did y'all give those folks no good, lying, downright cheating folks? Did you give them more chances than you give your business? Right? You try something once, it don't work. I don't know why this coach told me this. It ain't never going to work. I don't know why I tried to do this. It's never going to work. I'm never going to do this again. I'm talking to somebody out there who has done that. And I just want you guys to be encouraged, but also be real, have a real come to Jesus moment and say, we got to start being realistic about our businesses. We got to start, acting, instead of acting out of emotion, act out of knowledge, act out of research, right? And so I love that this month we've been really kind of talking about how to engage when it comes to posting, how to repurpose our posts, things like that. Today we're going to talk about tracking, because even if you do all the things, right? A lot of you are like, well, I'm posting every day, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You can do all the things, but if you're not going back and looking at how well those things really went and adjusting accordingly, that's when you're going to see those flops more often. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Let me throw it on the screen. Tracking what's working and what isn't, yes, in your business. So we're going to stop the guesswork and we're going to look at the data. Guys, you got to take off your emotional hat sometimes. Take it off. I know it's hard because this your baby. You've been wanting to do this business forever, but it's time to take that hat off and really start thinking about what is really working. And I've talked to many times about people who get stuck in this phase where they fall in love with their product or their offer so much so that when they see that people ain't into it, right, at least not in its current form, that they just keep plowing, trying to push. It's like, no, maybe we need to go back and readjust this product or service. Maybe we need to change the name, change the outcomes, change the structure, change something, because people don't want that. They didn't ask for it. They don't need it. It's just something that you really were passionate about, right? So that happens a lot. So we're going to work on not doing that by looking at the data. But before we dive in, I always like to do a little intro. Hello, I am Corey Fonville Foster, speaker, trainer, certified business coach, specializing, if I could talk today, specializing in implementation. I'm all about getting things done. And I'm also the CEO and founder of IROC Marketable Business Solutions, which is a small business marketing firm based out of Virginia. But we service amazing coaches, consultants, speakers, and authors from coast to coast. And so if you are someone who needs empowerment and knowledge around doing business, starting up, sales and marketing, you're in the right place. If you're somebody who's like, I'm tired of trying to do this thing on Canva or CapCut or any of those other platforms where you're trying to make your own content, make your own websites, landing pages, logos, then again, you're in the right place, because we are here to support you with affordable, real life implementation focused solutions. All right. And every single Monday, we are here in the building, right? Here in your virtual building, doing these Monday Night Lives. So every Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, rain, shine, health, sickness, doesn't matter. We are here giving you supports, talking about topics that matter to you, a business owner trying to get things done. All right. So what are we going to actually cover today? Let me change the screen so you actually can see what we got going on. Actually, I want to do a different view. There we go. That's better. So you guys can actually see it. But can I see it? Like, I'm sitting in a different spot and I ain't bring my glasses. Okay, that's better. All right. So 3 things we're going to do. Identify the key metrics to measure content success. 2, we're going to learn how to analyze content performance and make data-driven adjustments, not just throw away the baby with the bathwater. We're going to make data-driven adjustments, right? And we're going to 3, discover tools to simplify content tracking and strategy reinforcement. Okay, simple enough. Tonight's going to be quick. Tonight's going to be quick because I know you guys get this. All right, so we're going to start with the question. Y'all know I like questions. So the first question, are you creating content blindfolded, right? Are you unsure if it's resonating with your audience? There's more to pay attention to than just likes and shares. They're important, but there's more to it than just that, right? Some of you will tell me, we'll get on a call and you'll say, oh yeah, I got an email list. It's, got 500 people on it. I'm like, cool. What are the numbers looking like? And you're like, I don't know. Oh, I got a newsletter. Well, how many people are subscribed to your newsletter? Oh, I don't know. Well, I got a podcast. Well, how many views or listeners do you have? Oh, I don't know. Right? We got to know those numbers. So we know what's working. All right. So I'm going to give you a quick scenario, because this is how I like to roll with it. So imagine for a second that you're posting with confidence, knowing exactly which content drives engagements, build trust, and converts. Wouldn't that be nice? Right? I have clients who will literally hire me just to tell them what types of stuff to post, right? Like, hey, I don't know what to post. What should I be doing? Right? So just imagine that was you, right? And now you are confidently posting, knowing exactly which items convert well to engagement, build trust, and convert. And I'm going to be honest with you, especially for my audience. Like I said, I know my audience like I know myself. Most of you need to be more focused on converting than anything else. I love a like and a share. I love a good comment, but I want you guys to focus firstly on what, especially if you've been doing things, what is your conversion rate? because it probably means you're doing this and that, but you don't have strategy, right? Yes, I want you to build trust. Absolutely. And we can give you the strategy for that. Yes, I do want engagement, and we can use the data from what you are posting to see what's engaging well, and we'll talk more about that. But I want you to care mostly about conversion. Why? Because you can't stay in business without clients. A lot of people don't like saying that. They're like, oh, we gonna get this engagement up. Yeah, that's cool. But you could have a post, because I used to tell people all the time, it used to stress me out, make me hot. When I would see my competitors, a lot of times, white women, blonde hair, blue eyes, they would post a picture with them and their golden retriever dog, or their husband and 2 kids with their white picket fence, and all this engagement. People was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful, all this stuff. And I used to be so upset, because even though I do have cute dogs and I am cute, I feel, even if I posted that same picture with the same look, it would not get that much engagement. But what I thought about later was, now that I've been behind the scenes of enough businesses, just because somebody has a whole bunch of likes and shares, I've been behind the scenes on some stuff, and they be broke. Like, some people just ain't got no money. They house, and no, everybody's in a different place, but they ain't not living in no big house taking a whole bunch of vacations. Like, sometimes it ain't what it seems. And so for you guys, I want you to stop looking here and there, being like, oh, this person has all these likes and shares, this person has all these comments, but we don't know how they're converting. Yes, we want to see kind of what the trends are of our industries, but we also got to pay attention to our numbers, because engagement, again, we still want it, but we want to make sure that people are converting, not just enjoying our pretty pictures. Okay. All right. So, question for you: what does success look like for your content? A lot of you are looking at other people's profiles who have been doing this thing called entrepreneurship for decades, and comparing yourself to them and feeling like poo, because you're like, oh my gosh, look, they have 20,000 subscribers or followers on Instagram. Well, you started your business in January. What would you think you would have all of that? You know what I mean? Like, you're comparing yourself to some people that have been out here doing whatever. Sometimes y'all are comparing yourself to people that have teams running their social media. You're comparing yourself to people who have funds to buy followers. If you didn't know you could buy followers, you can. Don't do it. But yeah, you are comparing yourself to machines sometimes, people with bots, all kind of things, right? And it's frustrating. That's why I tell people, please, don't use Instagram as your only metrics for success, because people be over there doing all kind of stuff. So I want you to think about your business as it is right now, wherever you are in business. Maybe you have been around for decades. Maybe your brand's spanking new. What does success look like for you when it comes to your content, right? And let's just say over the next 30 to 90 days, right? If you did all the things you should be doing, what would success look like? Would it look like a certain number of followers or subscribers? Would it be a certain amount of listeners, newsletter subscribers, email opens, new clients, DMs, whatever the case may be? What would it look like? Because that's the goal you really should be setting. It should be based on you, what you can actually do. Because some people can post 3-4 times a day, and some people can post 3 times a week, right? You know what you can handle. What does success look like for you? Because it could just be getting that content out right now. Maybe you're sitting here and you're like, I ain't even putting out nothing, right? You ain't putting out nothing, right? Maybe success for you when it comes to your content for the next 30 days is you consistently putting something out a couple times a week. And then maybe next month, it'll be you putting out something every day. And then maybe the next month, it's you getting so much engagement, so many, whatever the case. But realize it's momentum. It has to build. So don't think you're going to go from posting nothing today to 10,000 subscribers in the month. Doesn't tend to happen. Okay? Doesn't tend to happen. So let's talk about some key metrics to kind of look at when we start thinking about our content. Because again, we want to be informative, data-based entrepreneurs, not emotion-based. So we got engagement rates, right? These are things we should still look at. I know I harp on don't be caring so much about the likes and shares, but they do matter. Just not as much as other stuff. So we're going to get them out the way. So engagement, so likes, shares, comments, clicks. These are things that you can look into. You can look into Meta, you can look on LinkedIn, you can look on YouTube, you can go in the analytics section and look and see. You can, a lot of times on Facebook, you can just glance and see, oh, this got so many likes, this got many shares, what have you. Sometimes the live data isn't as accurate as once, like if you finish your live, you can see, the engagement and things like that. But go and review that information. If you've never looked at your data, oh, we got work to do. Also, on a lot of platforms, they will also give you information. So they won't just give you data. So we use a tool, and I'll talk about that a little later, calllater.com. We've used other tools in the past, but through that platform, they not only give us our raw kind of data to look at, but then they also say, based on this data, we see that your audience is most online at this time on these days. These are the posts that do the best. And some of this you can find on the actual platforms as well, but we have it consolidated, which is kind of nice. But yeah, it'll give you that information. So it's not just, oh, this is how many likes you got on this one post. It's like, okay, these are the posts that did this well in this amount of time. So you can actually see that and say, okay, oh, they like these types of posts, or they like these types of, call to actions, or they like these types of hashtags, right? So now you have data to say, let me do more of that. You can see what shares. Oh, they're into current events. They're into this. They shared this. Okay, cool. You should be seeing your comments and responding quickly. Please don't wait to your analytics to respond to comments, but you can see where people were most engaged. If people clicked on things, you'll be able to see that as well. And I'm going to keep throwing in email marketing into this because it's not just about social media. On social media, you can also, if you're using a social media tool, right, not just using like your Google, Hotmail, etc., but when you're using an email tool, you can see your open rates, your click rates, meaning they clicked on something like a call to action button. You can see your, if you do any testing, like A/B testing, you can see like which one did the best. You can also see when people were able to open, how your delivery rate was, conversion rates, if you put anything into a funnel. There's lots of data out there that you're probably not looking at, let alone utilizing to make your business decisions, right? Some other things you can look at is reach and impression. So how far did your content spread? I love glancing at that just because it's some good numbers to have, and it gives you a quick look and say, okay, how did this, thing go, this campaign, what have you? What was the reach? What is the impression? And if you get into boosting your post or doing ads, this is also important because people don't realize that they're like, I'm gonna put out an ad. Well, when you put out an ad, a social media ad or things like that, a lot of times they'll ask you, are you doing this ad for awareness, conversion, etc.? And so they'll tell you like, hey, it reached all these people, but that don't mean all them people, clicked the button and did all the things. It just means they saw it, right? So we got to also understand what these terms mean on different platforms and then how to utilize them for ourselves, right? Because it's one thing to say, oh, I got a lot of data, but if you like me, I hate spreadsheets. It's too much data for me, but sometimes we just have to, grit our teeth and bear it because we need the information, but you have a lot of data at your disposal. Excuse me. Let me get some water. But I've been struggling with heartburn. I'm over here dying. But what I say, sickness or health, we doing this. All right. So you got a lot of data at your disposal, but you got to understand what do all the terms mean, and then what does that mean to you, and then how to utilize it to do better with your business. Conversion rate. So how many people took action, right? I'm cool with people liking a post, but I'd rather you go ahead and hit that link and book a call, right? Book a call. Because also these things, when like if you've been doing certain things and you're seeing a certain result, right? You're like, okay, cool. I can kind of guess that this will happen every month. It's been pretty consistent. When a change happens, whether it's a good change or a bad change, it allows you to be notified that something is amiss, right? Something has changed, right? Because something just don't happen for no reason. Back, was it last year, a little bit before the election, Facebook had been doing just fine, right? And then all of a sudden, I started noticing that my Monday Night Live number of people coming started dropping. My bookings from social media, like people booking a call with me, started to go down. I was like, what? I didn't change anything. So what's going on? And so I started going to my different groups, like coaching calls, accountability calls and things like that. And we were having these conversations like, what is going on? Because I haven't changed anything, but things are dropping. And come to find out, other entrepreneurs was like, yeah, people in my group said they're not getting notified, even if I say at all, at followers, at spotlight, whatever. They were like, something is going on, something is amiss. And it wasn't just, small solo entrepreneurs. It went all the way up to multi-million-dollar businesses. Like, we were all talking, being like, something is different. And a lot of people who weren't looking at their data was like, what y'all talking about? Right? It's like, no, something changed. Why? Because we could see the numbers change. Right? It wasn't just like, oh, I'm not getting a lot of, hearts and likes. It was my conversion rate done changed. Like, people are not booking calls. They're not coming from social media. Come to find out, the powers that be decided they were not going to focus or give awareness to businesses online without basically paying for it. Like, if you put ads out on social media, they're still good, but organic traffic has vastly decreased over the last, I would say, 6 months or so, especially Facebook and Instagram. So your meta platforms vastly decreased. Back in the day with a Facebook group, you could organically be out here getting it, right? Not paying for no ads, no nothing. We built our business a lot on organic traffic. That's why we teach it so much. And we had to decide as a company in December to shift a little bit and say, like, we're going to have people that's willing to spend some money sooner than later. Because it used to be, we could, you could pay for us to give you strategy and we could help you get started organically and not have to invest anything to get your social media going. And now it's not the case, right? It's not the case. They want you to pay to play. And it kind of sucks, but at least it's better to know than to not know, right? And so this is all because we looked at that data. Right? We looked at the data. Another point to look at is your audience retention. That's how long users interact with your posts, right? Your video content. How long are they watching? A nice place to think about that or to look at that is like TikTok and YouTube and see like how long are people watching? Because people can click, but if they're only watching the first 30 seconds or something, it's like, dang, that they're not getting to the end. Same with your webinars. If you're using a webinar platform, they should tell you not only how many people registered for your webinar, but how many people stayed to the end, and then how many people then took action, right? Same with your funnels, paying attention to those numbers. So it's not just, again, it's not just about the likes. It's not just about the shares or the comments. They're important, but they're a part of a bigger piece, right? I feel like a lot of you are focusing on one piece of the pizza versus the whole pizza itself. Like, the whole pizza matters, not just the slice. Sorry if that wasn't a good analogy, but it's only, I'm a little hungry. All right, next question. Do you know how to turn data into actionable improvements, right? We've been kind of talking about that a little bit because, again, it's cool to know, right? I want you to know. That's first step. You got to know. But if you can't do anything with that information, then what is it for, right? All those charts just become pretty pictures. All right, so let's dive into that for a second. So 1, identify trends. Which topics, formats, platforms are performing the best? I love when I get with a client, they're like, yo, I suck on YouTube. I'm like, cool, that's good to know. Or my main platform is LinkedIn, right? Oh, cool. Now we know what we need to focus. Because sometimes it's not about getting you popular everywhere. Sometimes for specific things, like if somebody's coming to me and they want to launch something, we may not have time to build up every platform you have, but we do have time for is to optimize the platform where you're already, kicking and grooving, right? So we want to really understand like what topics people like that you're putting out, what formats, right? Is it your carousels? Is it your reels? Is it, and if it is a reel, what type of short form video format are they liking? If it's certain, like I said, certain topics, certain hashtags, like what is popping for you, but also what is popping in your industry. Because it's important to look, because some of you don't have enough data alone to look and say, okay, what's everybody else doing that's in my industry to give you a good start. Audience behavior is something good to note, right? Analyzing what your audience engages with and why. A lot of us want to just assume. I get it. You think you know your people, so you're like, no, I know what they would want to see. I know what they would want to hear, how they want it. And sometimes we just be wrong. Sometimes we're just wrong, right? And that's why we have to do the audience research, and we can't just do it once. We got to do it every so often, check back in, and really look at that audience behavior, especially as it relates to your business. Because again, I have competitors who do not look like me, who do not specialize in servicing the same clients I do. And if I just went and said, oh, well, this is what's trending with them and did it, again, the picture with me and the cute puppy, I would not get the same results, right? My audience likes, you to dress up a little bit, look cute, flash money here and there sometimes, but also be about consistency and knowing what you're talking about. It ain't just about the cute pictures. They want me to be consistent. They want me to show up with knowledge, right? And so I have to understand that about my audience. They also want quick stuff. My audience does not want to have to sit there forever. They want to see results fast, and that's what I have to deliver. Last but not least, test and iterate. Be okay experimenting, right? Don't do crazy things. Like, you can have some slight variations here and there. It's almost like a science experiment, right? You have your control and then you have your variables. You don't just make a whole new experiment, right? You got to take the control, change maybe one thing, change maybe something else, change maybe one other thing, and then see how it goes, right? And let it do its course. A lot of us are so I think we just feel so rushed, right? We're like, this got to work today, that we are not okay testing. We feel like that thing that should have been a test is the one and only. If it don't work, I won't do it again. And guys, again, are we giving more chances to that no good, no count man or woman, whoever, more than our business? Because we got to be okay with testing things. We got to be okay with trying. And sometimes, I just got to be honest, guys, sometimes that means throwing out a little money, right? I had someone who reached out to me and was like, well, can you guarantee this? Can you guarantee that? One, I can't guarantee anything, because at the end of the day, I know what I bring to the table and what I do, but I don't know you, right? I don't know what you're going to do. Right? I can tell you do A, B, C, and you can do AC. Well, ABC gets you this type of result because I've done it and I've done it with other people, but AC may not get you that result, but now you're mad at me, right? And then with business, things change, things shift. It is what it is. Something that worked today may not work tomorrow, may not work to the same extent, or may do really, really well. Right? People ain't gonna pay me extra if they get a better result. So no, I don't promise or guarantee anything. I'm about like, hey, we know what your goal is. We know where you are. We have a strategy. We're gonna keep tweaking it until we get there. Right? So we test and we iterate. So I want you guys to get in the habit of thinking about especially in these early phases, of thinking it as a test. I'm gonna test this out. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try that. And really something that took me a while to get is, if you're going to go ahead and invest in a program, whether it's with me or anybody, right? And they're going to tell you do A, B, C, just like this. It does not help you, right, to spend the money to work with somebody for you to go AC, right? And you don't think it's a big deal because you're like, well, I just don't think I would like for somebody to email me this amount of time. Right. And if you're listening to this and you talked to me about it recently, I promise I'm not talking about you. This happens all the time. And it even happened to me because I was like, oh my God. It wasn't until one of my coaches took me behind the scenes, right, pull the curtain back for me, where I could see the data to realize like the numbers don't lie. And then I had other coaches do it. More coaches do it. And they're like, but this works. And then I've done it with clients, like, give it a chance. Let me do this. And they're like, oh, it works. Just because you feel that you wouldn't like something doesn't mean it's best practices. Period.com. And so I want you to test. But again, if you are in a program, I want you to test using the exact strategy they're giving you, not pieces of it, not with your own flavor. Do it exact. So at least if it doesn't work exactly how you thought, then now you can tweak, and now you can add your own sauce and your spice, whatever you want to do. But you got to do it right. It's almost like baking a cake. It's like science, y'all. If it say, this amount of flour and this amount of sugar and the butter got to be cold, if you don't have cold butter and you choose to have melted butter, you're not going to get the same cake. The same thing happens with business. So please make sure that you're considering that as well as you are testing, iterating, and putting out any forms of content, especially for those of your programs, because I can't tell you how many people come to me just like, oh my God, I worked with such and such, it just didn't work. And I'm like, I know for sure you did not follow everything step by step, but you mad that you didn't get the same results because you decided to do what you wanted to do. So please stop that. All right, so let's do another question. What's your go-to tool for content tracking? Right? Because that's what I want to know. What are you using? So we got Google Analytics, great tool. We got social media insights. Again, you can go to Instagram, you can go to Facebook, you go to LinkedIn, TikTok, and in the platform, you can see how your pages or accounts or groups or whatever are doing. You can see how a specific piece of content did. You can see over a certain amount of time how things are going, how many new followers, subscribers, what people are liking, sharing, commenting, engaging with. You can see that. You just need to check, right? Again, I told you we use later.com, but you can also use Buffer or any other platform, Hootsuite, MailChimp, GetResponse, Kajabi, Teachable, Thinkific, all those. That's a lot of the platforms that you guys use for different pieces of your content. But you can check the analytics there. Also in Canva Pro, they have a scheduling tool where you can also see the data if you choose to use that scheduling tool as well. So again, I don't care how you getting your content out, your social media content, your email content, podcasts, newsletters, etc. But I want you to look at even your website analytics. Okay, and I told you it was gonna be fast tonight. We at the end already, y'all. All right, so what do we take care of tonight? We focus on metrics like engagement, conversions, retention to measure success. We use data to refine our strategies and create content that resonates. And then we talked about leveraging tools to simplify tracking and make data-driven decisions. That's how simple it can be. Now, the hard part is you actually got to do it, okay? You got to do it. So here's a challenge for you. You're going to pick one platform, just one, and review your top performing posts for the past month. This is really good time for this because it's pretty much the end of April. So look and see, how did your content do for the month of April? Identify why those pieces that did good worked well and create similar pieces for next week, right? So the first week of May, you should have similar content to push out as the content that performed well in April. And then share your experience with us. I know it may take a little bit of time because one, you got to see what did well. You got to make that content and post it and then wait to see how it does. But still tag us. We want to know how it went. Remember, A to B, C versus A to C. Okay. And if you're sitting here like, I need help. No worries. The link didn't change. You can go to bit.ly/IROC coffee chat, or you can scan that QR code on your screen and you can talk to me. It's a free call. You can literally say, this is where I'm struggling. And I can be like, girl, guy, whoever, I hear you. These are my suggestions. If you've ever come to one of my calls, you know, you're going to leave with tips. Like, yeah, if I can help you, I'll tell you how, but you're going to have some notes. So come prepared to take some notes for free. Let's have a chat and let's get you on the right accord. Yes, we're in a call so you can share your screen. If you want to look at it and be like, I don't know what these stuff mean, we can chat about it. But it's a 30-minute session with me and it's here to support you. So please take advantage of that. And just remember, we are here every single Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Monday Night Lives. This is our last Monday night in April, but it's okay. May is going to be fun. We have some cool topics. Let me see what we got going on in May, just to give you a heads up. So May 5th, we have, are you speaking your client's language? Okay, so we talk a little bit about messaging there. May 12th, build a loyal audience by providing value. May 19th, we're going to attract clients with collaborative content. May 26th, we're going to do borrowed ideas from the best learning from top brands. And that is our May. So we got a lot going on in May. Guys, I always say, you know, I'm not in each one of your businesses. I love the businesses we do get to work with, but I don't get to see everybody who comes to the Monday Night Lives. But no matter how you feel you did, right? I get it. First quarter was a doozy. And it wasn't just a doozy because it was business. A lot changed in the world over the last several months, right? Quarter two came in, and I don't know how you did. Maybe you did really good. Maybe you didn't do as well as you thought, but just realize we still got lots of the year left. Right. And it's our job to be the captains of our own ships, to take our lives into our own hands and decide how our future is going to be. It's nobody else's decision, no matter how the politics go, no matter how much eggs cost next week. It is our job, right? Our job, our responsibility to do this thing called business, to do this thing for our families, ourselves, our futures, our kids' futures, and all the people that we support. So I encourage you to not, if it ain't been working the way you've been doing it, it's time for change, right? I think a lot of people are scared, and I get it, right? But scarcity mindset will leave you stuck. I encourage you, this is the time to take action now. If you're like, but what happens in 3 months? Then that means today you need to take action because this is a time when a lot of millionaires are going to be made, right? People are about to start making some money because they're taking action now. And I'm not saying that you're not going to be scared, but we got to do it anyway. We got to do it anyway. A lot of people are like, well, maybe I was thinking about starting this business, but I don't know which way the wind gonna blow. So I'm gonna just stay at this little job where I think, I got a guaranteed check, and I'll start the business later. Later could be 4, 8, 12 years down the line, where if you would have started today, you might have been able to retire yourself early, retire family members, send your kids to a private school, pay off a car, move to a better place, all the things, right? So I really encourage you to take action now and stop waiting, because tomorrow just isn't promised. I'm not a big fear-monger person, but guys, this is the time. We got to start making moves today. But anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox. Remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock, and I will see you guys next week.
In the world of service-based small businesses, success isn't just about what you offer. It's about how you showcase it. Welcome to IROC Marketable Business Solutions, your partner in marketing excellence. We understand that as a small business owner, you wear many hats, but marketing doesn't have to be one of them. At IROC, we offer a range of marketing services designed with your success in mind. Our team is your team, working seamlessly to bring your vision to life. Imagine having a partner who can turn your ideas into captivating visuals. Picture content that resonates with your audience and drives engagement. Think about a brand that reflects your uniqueness and leaves a lasting impression. With IROC, you don't just save money, you get more bang for your buck. Our services are budget friendly, so you can invest in growing your business. And we're all about consistency, no more false starts. Ready to take your marketing to the next level? Discover how we can make marketing easy, affordable, and consistent. Unlock the full potential of your marketing with IROC Marketable Business Solutions.